Wargaming's anniversary event is here on World of Tanks console, and of course today's video is going to have a look at everything that you need to know about the event that Wargaming have given us, including some premium tank sales. They've got a free vehicle that you can pick up as well within the game, and of course we have some other content coming out as well. So we'll cover all of that. And let's get straight into it. So straight away, we've got 9 years on console, which is pretty massive. I mean, my account is about 8 and a bit years old, so just after the console kind of celebration, I guess. But what we have is 600 plus total vehicles created for the game. There's 383 premium tanks, 345 for World War II and 38 for Cold War, 16 seasons, and played on 5 consoles, starting with the Xbox 360. Of course, you can't play on the Xbox 360 anymore, I don't believe, or at least they are no longer cross-compatible with any of the current ones, so I don't know if they kind of twilighted the 360 and the PlayStation 3, but either way, it's gone, and so we have the new next-gen consoles, and hopefully we'll see some more support come to the Xbox Series X and some of the other new, more powerful consoles, and see what Wargaming can do with the graphics and engines and stuff like that, so that we've got a more polished game. But either way, what else do we have? Well, the anniversary gifts. So this is what everyone is getting. It's a German tier 3. And it's always been a kind of long-lasting meme that they give you a garage slot for the anniversary. And of course, it's the Panzer M15. I mean, I don't think it's going to be anyone's favourite. It's a tier 3 at the end of the day, but it's there, and if you want to sell it, I would highly recommend playing one game in it and then selling it, because at least then you can re-get that tank back into your garage at a later date. If it was to become like ultra rare or something down the line, you need to have played one game to actually get a tank back that you owned if it's a premium and you want to then get it back for silver, but you have to pay the full price silver as opposed to the half price silver that you get. So it does still cost you money in terms of silver to be able to get it back. Then we have the challenge to earn the Panzer 3K. So don't quite know why Wargaming went with the tier 5 premium, but at least it's there. The Panzer 3K you can essentially earn by getting XP, one of those typical Wargaming boring idea things where it's just like you must play like 70 games to be able to get this thing, and that is literally what you have to play. It's available for a week, so as of the recording and publishing of this video, that's tomorrow, so you'll be able to jump on, you'll be able to play it for a week, and if you manage to get about 70,000 XP in that entire week, then you'll be able to get the Panzer 3K, so I think it's very achievable for most people. Then we have cosmetic sale, so there'll be 50% off all cosmetic, excluding skins, so you will not be able to pick up skins for half price, so you'll get emblems, inscriptions, flags and camo for 50% off, which is nice. Then we've got the anniversary bundle, so you can pick up some premium tanks if you really want to, and there's 50% discount on them and their theme. So the first one is Tiger Tiger Tiger, which has the Tiger 217, the Tiger 131 and the Citadel Tiger. I mean, all of those, the Tiger 131 is exceptional. The other two, you know, they're whatever. They're pretty much the same tank. They're all Tigers at the end of the day. And I wouldn't really recommend it for 8,300, but there you go. And then you've got the heavy clippers, which I would 100% not recommend. There's the Barracuda Emile, which I really enjoy playing, the Emile 51. That's a skinned version. And it's really, really good tank. Then you get the Stockade, which is kind of meh. I mean, it's an autoloader as well, hence the name Heavy Clippers, but nothing too spectacular. I didn't really like that vehicle. It's basically an IS-3 that has a 3-shot autoloader, and it's just pretty lame. Accuracy sucks, I think. And then the T-32A Proto has got a buff recently, but once again, it's probably a little bit lackluster, and for the fact that you're paying about £45 for all of these, it's probably not the one I would go for if I had to choose. Then we've got the multitaskers. So this comes with the Dragon Lance and C, the Type 59-2 and the Trinity. This is the one that I would go for so far if I was going to spend some money on the game. The Dragon is fantastic, the Type 59-2 is fantastic, and the Trinity is okay. I mean, it's pretty good in the right hands, but it takes a little bit more skill than the other two to have really good results. Then we have fast movers, the Vanguard, the Holland and the Falcon. I mean, I wouldn't really go for these since two of them I'm not particularly a fan of. The Holland is a bit mediocre. The Vanguard's absolutely so much fun, and I highly recommend everyone has one. But as for the other two, they're okay, nothing spectacular. Then we've got Reliable and Steadfast, so the Lurva, the Mutant and the Glory Eyes 5, all of which are very old premiums, and they certainly show their age within the game. They are not particularly the nicest vehicles to play for the most part, so don't get your hopes up if you're thinking about purchasing this one. And especially when it's costing 18,000 gold, that's probably like £45 or maybe even more, which is obviously like $60 or something like that. So yeah, I would highly recommend not getting that one. Then we've got ranged offense, so you can pick up the Audace, the Iron Rain and the Bison. Now this is an interesting one. The Audace, so this is the CDC 105 thing, or CDA even 105, which is good in its own right, really fun tank. And then the Iron Rain, which is also very, very good, like very good, the Iron Rain. And then the Bison T103, which is also quite good, but it's kind of hard one. The Iron Rain really makes that bundle kind of worth it, but at the same time, yeah, it's just so expensive, and I'm not particularly a fan of the bundle as a whole. And so generally, there's not that many amazing bundles to pick up, to be honest with you. All of these, they kind of bundle one good tank in with a load of trash, basically. So, I mean, Multitaskers probably the best one, and of course it's actually one of the cheapest, so if you're only in it for the price, then yeah, certainly get this one, and if you're in it for the good tanks, also get this one. So pretty much a no-brainer if you are picking up any of the vehicles and you have none of them before. Yeah, really, really nice. Then we have tier 10 tanks for free XP, so you can pick up the T95 FE4201 Chieftain, which is the Valor, and this will be 450,000 free XP for every single one of these. You'll see the Object 260, the 907, the M60, the Quillin, the 121B, the VKK, and the T22 Medium, all of which you can pick up. The star performers in there, probably the T95 Chieftain, the Quillin, the VKK, and maybe the 260. I mean, all of them fairly decent. There's none that are absolutely awful, except from, I mean, no, maybe they are all good, but yeah, you can make of that what you will. Free XP conversion bonus, so you can get 1 gold to 35 free XP as opposed to the 1 to 25. So if you're after spending a ton of money on converting your XP into free XP, then you can do. It's probably the best time you can do it. Then we've got the big booster and consumable sale, so you'll be able to pick up ×5 vehicle XP boosters in the quantity of up to 50, and these are really, really nice if you just don't want to spend as much time on the game, if you really want to speed up how quickly you'll be able to get tier 10s. It is probably worth it if you earn over a certain amount of money in real life, in terms of like, if you're going to really hate playing the game, playing through stock tanks, and it's going to cost you like £2 an hour to be able to play with ×5 XP boosters, in my eyes, under my situation, that is entirely worth it. Under your guys' situation, I have no idea. But of course, you have to value it up in your own mind. Is it going to be worth it for you to get through some of the things? Is it going to be more painful for you to play? Is it going to be annoying to play? You know, factor all of this in and then make your decision. I used to be of the stance like, no, the whole point is, you know, you really need to grind through these kind of Century in One stock, etc. And then I realised, like, I think I was just being self-righteous and being like, yeah, I'm really going to do it the proper way. I'm not going to use any XP boosters. And then I realised, why am I actually putting myself through this much pain for the sake of, like, not enjoying the game as well? And it's not like it's costing an arm and a leg. But that being said, they are expensive for what they actually are. So it's got to be weighed up by yourself, and of course make up your own mind as to what you would use. But of course the best thing to do is buy them when they're on sale. This isn't the best sale that you can get on the ×5 XP boosters, so don't go out of your way to purchase them right now. Just take a little bit of a think and decide whether or not you want to get them. And of course, they are what they say on the tin, just times 5 XP when you use them, but they are not on a win. They are applied to every single game. So if you're on a losing streak, you will also get times 5 XP off your losing games. Of course, vehicle commander XP boosters, silver boosters, and of course premium consumables. I would never recommend purchasing premium consumables, just kind of pointless to be honest, but there you go. And then the special anniversary stream with T Kane, which I highly recommend you guys jump into. That's on February 12th, so it's next Tuesday, I believe, off the top of my head. In fact, it is Sunday, so yeah, Sunday the February 12th. I don't know why I didn't just read it. It literally says right there. But there you go. It's 8 a.m. Central Time. So 14 hours UTC. So 2 o'clock for the majority of the world if you're going off of universal time. Other than that, that is the kind of premise of this, but we do have some information on the Discord that was released with Wargaming Stream. I think there's a few questions and stuff we can have a look at as to what Wargaming have come out with and said about like the next season, stuff like that that's coming soon. So jumping on into the Discord, we have the premium bonus. So this has been unveiled. It's the Object 430, the 430U and the K91 line, which is one I haven't completed. So I'll be making my way down that, and we may even do it on stream. So looking forward to doing that. There's the AMX 13105 line, which is good, and the Magash 7C line as well, which is of course the Cold War premium bonus. You'll get 50% silver and 50% XP on all of those vehicles that we've just mentioned, and all of the vehicles previous to them in the tech tree line from tier 5 all the way up to 10, or from literally era 1 I believe in Cold War, so you get the full bonus. G.I. Joe, there's of course a last chance, but they're super expensive. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've had a G.I. Joe last chance about 5 times, so I don't really know if that's actually a thing. And then, of course, we have the questions, I believe, at the end. So we can have a look here. Swedish line for Cold War. There is tickets to look at this, but it's not in our schedule yet. It could be this year or next. We don't know yet. Will we get the 2022 WotC stats poster and slides like previous years? The team's working on getting it out for our anniversary, so very soon. Will there be any TDs for the independent line in Cold War? They do plan to add more, potentially next season, but there's none planned for the independent line. There are Swedish TDs that we could add in the future, but nothing planned. So yeah, nothing too much in that regard. Any word of possibly of moving the FE 4005 to Era 2. We have a ticket to investigate this, but no news yet. I'm definitely hearing that the FE 4005 in Cold War is a little bit of a seal clubber, so I'm not surprised about that. What stats does the pair matchmaker use? Tiers, class, platoons, the players, battle counts. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It tries to tie people up to their skill level and what class and platoon and blah, 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 and how many battles they played, etc. Is the community map Cold War or World War II? It was developed to be Cold War, but as a community map, we want you to decide, so let us know. So hopefully they'll bring it in as a full map for all of the versions. I think that would be nice, even if they kind of tune down the size of it for World War II. I mean, if that's a possibility, that would be good. But I'd be very interested to see what you guys think about the new map only being developed for Cold War. I think that from now onwards, they should really be developing maps that are usable on both game modes, because why not, streamline your development so that you can either A, have a smaller map if you want it on World War II, and then like just an expanded version of the same map, just an extra areas that you can go into on Cold War, that could be good. And I mean, it saves like having to develop one map and then another map and 2 separate maps for one. You could just make one map or 2 maps in total that are usable on both Cold War and World War II. Can the next season include a Cold War tank, please? Tune in next week for next season news. So I'm pretty sure what Wargaming is saying here is that there'll be a Cold War tank in the season pass. There's a surprise. Next Cold War line, we have 2 lines in mind, but we haven't locked in on a specific one yet. So they don't know exactly which one they're going to be doing. Medals for Cold War, when? They're on their way. We're focusing on the Battle Hero medals first, so it will take a lot of work to get them added. I'm actually surprised. I don't really get it. Maybe there's a lot of back-end coding that goes into creating the medals. I have no idea. But maybe it's just low on the priority list and they're kind of buffing up the fact that it's going to take a while. You know, it's probably because they've got other things that they need to make. When will the Era 2 AMX be on sale again? It's not in the schedule, so maybe a few months wait. Can we get black camos? They're typically reserved for Black Friday, and so unfortunately not. I'm not surprised there. I mean, it is supposed to be limited for Black Friday. Roundabout contract, when it's coming? Roundabout July. Oh, God. That's just disgusting. Any news of some mercenary tanks? All we can say is you will see some later this year, or this year. Any chance to do 2 contracts at once? This has come up before, and I think it's an interesting idea, but to my knowledge, there's no current plans. I think that would be really good. I just... You know, even if you could do two contracts, it'd be nice to be able to maybe only do like 1 tier 10 contract, and then the other contract has to be like for a tier 6 or lower, so you can't do like 2 tier 10 contracts at the same time. It would just allow you to kind of get a feeling like you're progressing maybe a little bit more than you would typically do with just a tier 10 contract, because it can take you months to complete, and sometimes you don't even complete it after spending months doing it. So yeah, bit disappointing there. What are the next maps after Swamp? So they'll drop some teasers after Swamp's release. Of course, Swamp is the next map coming, and I believe it's coming at the start of next season, which is getting ever so close now, and hopefully it'll be an interesting one. Can we get 4-man platoons? No, sorry, 3 is the best balance, and 4 and 5 creates balance issues. I kind of agree. I mean, it's annoying because you'd like to platoon up with your mates in a 5-man platoon, but at the same time, it is a massive problem with people signing up with 5-man super unicorn platoons in Panzer 5.4s with 70% win rate, and it's actually just not fun for like 99% of the players in the game, except from the platoon. So I agree, maybe it would be good if they implemented 5-man platoons, but certain vehicles weren't able to platoon with each other, like a Panzer 5.4, like artillery pieces, like we currently have, and maybe some of the more overpowered classes. Maybe if you had to be forced into having like 1 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light tank, blah blah blah, if you want a 5-man platoon, I think that would be kind of a better way of getting around it, and it stops the overpowered tanks coming into play, but you can still have your mates in there and play together in a community. But that is everything. Hopefully that was an interesting look at the anniversary for Wargaming, and of course let me know what you think about all of this. There isn't too much content, I guess, but we're ramping up for the next season coming soon. Of course, just 1 week left pretty much until that goes into the game, so we're looking forward to it. Of course, there'll be constant news updates as we go through throughout the next coming weeks and the new season actually lands, so get ready, and I hope you join me in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.